William Faulkner in detail. You know what? First, we're going to study about who was this American novelist who became the beacon of modernist literature, then about his important works, his style of writing, when did he receive the Nobel and the Pulitzer Prizes, what did he do with the money that he received during the Nobel Prize. There's so much that you have to know about this author. His writing that was initially called difficult and impenetrable, later he was the leader, right, of modernism. He influenced world literature. He was influenced himself by so many writers. So now my sketch says that I will do few slides dedicated to Faulkner based on UGC Net, what Net likes to ask about this writer, followed by a few simple MCQs, enough for you to know that, okay, this is how much I should know about Faulkner. For example, you don't really have to enter the plot details of all the novels by him. Okay. So let's start. This journey is going to be great. And if you like all our videos at Wallet, what will you do? Share your love, drop down comments, like, subscribe to our channel if you still haven't. We are Wallet by Dr. Kalyani Wallet. I'm Hina from Team Wallet. You know me very well. If you're here, I know you've seen almost all my videos. And if you're new here, you should know I'm a part of Team Wallet. I work online for Wallet. I don't stay in Kerala. I stay in North India, but then Wallet and me are like single home, right? Let's start with Wallet challenge today based on the American novelist William Faulkner. Look at him on the screen first. Look at Faulkner. Mostly you'll see him with his pipe. You know, when I was Google searching for him, all of his images are with a pipe. Smoking is injurious to health, right? Come on now. Full name of William Faulkner is William Cuthbert Faulkner, lived from 1897 to 1962, born in Mississippi, United States of America, which makes him an American. His identity today in English literature is he's a modernist novelist and he is Southern literature icon. You know, there were times when he spoke, people could not understand because he had that peculiar South American dialect. He would speak in that language, but then when you write so well, when you have so much power, the way you speak hardly matters. And in fact, let me tell you, every person is capable. And every person speaks according to where they are born, their family, culture, etc. So we don't have any rights to question somebody's way of speech or way of dressing, right? Come on, let's start. Education, you should know, he did not graduate. Yes, William Faulkner, the great writer, did not graduate. He was a dropout from the University of Mississippi. Also, he joined the Air Force. Which one? Royal Canadian Air Force, but he did not participate in any combat. And for most of his life, he lived in Oxford, Mississippi. Okay? See, I'm giving you an introduction of Faulkner so that later, when you come to his works, you can connect it better. When you know about a person, then you understand the other details, for example, names of the novels, short stories, in an easier manner if you know about his life and his lifestyle, right? You understand the connection? Now, very important. Favorite of UGC NET and other exams, who created Yoknapatawpha County? Yoknapatawpha County. Basically, this was a fictional setting that was created by whom? None other than William Faulkner. Yes. Yoknapatawpha was a fictional setting or a county created by Faulkner. It appears almost in all of his works. So this makes Faulkner a one universe writer, just like Hardy, who created Wessex. Okay? And this Yoknapatawpha was based on Lafayette County, Mississippi. It was based on a real county called Lafayette County in Mississippi. So this Yoknapatawpha is also located in Mississippi, but it is a fake, or you can say a fictional county. ठीक? आगे बढ़े. Major works by Faulkner. Look at how Faulkner stands with all his books behind him. First, his novels. The Sound and the Fury. Please repeat after me. Novels by Faulkner, most important ones. The Sound and the Fury. Next, As I Lay Dying. Next, Light in August. Next, Absalom, Absalom. Okay? These are his novels. Other important works by Faulkner are, repeat after me, Sartoris, followed by The Wild Palms, followed by Sanctuary, followed by A Fable, followed by The Rivieres, the subtitle of which is A Reminiscence. This is the question. What is the subtitle of The Rivieres? Or which novel by Faulkner's subtitle is A Reminiscence? The answer is The Rivieres. Okay. Now, short story by Faulkner, very famous, is A Rose for Emily. There are so many roses here, but the title says A Rose for Emily. This is a short story by William Faulkner. Let's move on. Awards for him. Oh God, I took one with the pipe. That's okay. First, we have to talk about his Nobel Prize. Faulkner received or announced, the Nobel Prize in Literature was announced in the year 1949, but actually he received it in 1950. This is a loophole. But if the question comes, when did he get Nobel Prize? Please write or tick mark 1949. Okay? This made him the only Mississippi-born Nobel laureate. And his speech during the Nobel Prize was based on human spirit, which means that literature should focus on the inside voices of humanity, or the inner conflict, the inner voice of human. That should play an important role in literature. And an advice that he gave to his readers during a conference. Basically, Faulkner's works were so difficult to decipher that he told once that, of course, if you read it once, you won't understand. So read it 4 times. Read my works 4 times. Okay? And the money that he got, the fund that he got for his Nobel Prize, he used it to establish another fund to support new fiction writers. This later became the Penn Award for Fiction or Faulkner Award for Fiction. Will you remember? That's the good work he did with his Nobel Prize fund. Pulitzer Prize he received twice. First in the year 1955 for his work A Fable, and second Pulitzer Prize he received posthumously for his work The Rivieres. Okay? And look here, this is very important. Please read with me what the image says. When William Faulkner gave his acceptance speech for the Nobel Prize in Literature, the audience did not understand him due to his deep Southern accent. When the speech was printed in the papers the next day, it was hailed as one of the greatest Nobel Prize acceptance speeches ever. So when he was speaking, people couldn't understand. Later it came in print and everybody started praising it. Okay? Let's move on to the literary style of Faulkner, which makes him impenetrable. Why? Because his prose is complex. Please remember, Faulkner's style is complex. Uses stream of consciousness, multiple narrators, non-linear narrative. His works have Gothic elements and psychological elements, and that is why Gabriel Garcia Marquez, other Latin American writers were so deeply inspired by Faulkner. And the common themes in Faulkner's works are decline of the American South. Then he also talks about race and slavery. There are novels that are dedicated to racial tension, right? Then his works talk of memory and time. Then they talk of family decay, and they talk of self-identity. Okay, these are the literary styles and the themes that you will find in Faulkner's works. I told you, and I've been telling you, initially his style was called very difficult and impenetrable. Later, Faulkner was hailed as canonical modernist writer. In fact, critics like Clent Brooks, Ralph Ellison praised Faulkner. They were all in for Faulkner. Okay, now, Faulkner was influenced by whom? You should know this. Great writers like James Joyce influenced Faulkner. Also, Shakespeare. Also, the Odyssey, the Macbeth, only Macbeth, they all influenced Faulkner so much. For example, his novel, The Sound and the Fury, the title of this novel is taken from Macbeth. Okay? So now if the question comes that The Sound and the Fury by Faulkner is inspired from which work, or is taken from which work? The title. The answer needs to be Macbeth by Shakespeare. So he was influenced by them all, as I told you, Joyce, Shakespeare. Now, he influenced whom? You know, it is said Faulkner influenced Latin American magic realism indirectly. Because I told you he has Gothic elements and psychological elements in his work, right? So he influenced Latin American magical realism indirectly. He influenced heavily writers like Gabriel Garcia Marquez, Mario Vargas Llosa, and Cormac McCarthy. Okay. In fact, I'll talk about what Cormac McCarthy wrote for Faulkner in my coming slides. Just be with me. We're talking about Faulkner in detail. Hollywood connection. You should know this. So basically, in 1944, a movie came out in Hollywood. The name of this movie was To Have and Have Not. To Have and Have Not. Basically, this was based on a novel which was written by Ernest Hemingway. So Ernest Hemingway was the writer of the novel To Have and Have Not, but the screenplay for this movie, To Have and Have Not, was written by Faulkner. So two writers, two Nobel laureates, you can say, who were involved together in one filmmaking. The answer is To Have and Have Not, movie of 1944. Easy? You want to take a breath? Want to breathe? It's so good. It's so interesting. You will remember it all. Okay, let's move on. Turning points or cornerstone in Faulkner's life. First novel by Faulkner, which talks of soldiers when they're returning from World War. The name, the first or the debut novel of Faulkner is Soldier's Pay. Soldier's Pay, published in 1926. First Yoknapatawpha novel. This also is important. It's Sartoris. Sartoris is the first novel based on the Yoknapatawpha County. The breakthrough novel that actually made him famous was The Sound and the Fury. And one work by Malcolm Cowley that actually revived Faulkner's career. This work was edited by Malcolm Cowley. The name of this work is The Portable Faulkner. The Portable Faulkner, published in the year 1946. Here is the title page of The Portable Faulkner. You should know what this work is about. Edited by Malcolm Cowley, The Portable Faulkner curates or brings together Faulkner's major works into a chronological history based on his Yoknapatawpha County. And as I told you, The Portable Faulkner revived Faulkner's career because it presented him as a major modern talent. It also introduced to the world his complex multi-volume narration, his complex prose and his multi-volume narrative world that he created through his works. Easy? Nice and easy. Now, before I enter into the MCQs, one MCQ is this, that what are the novels that are a part of Snopes trilogy? Basically, Faulkner wrote a trilogy called the Snopes trilogy. So what are the three novels that form the Snopes trilogy? They are, first, The Hamlet of 1940, second, The Town of 1957, and third, The Mansion of 1959. This Snopes trilogy deals with the rise of the Snopes family in Mississippi. Okay. Then after Rose for Emily, another short story collection. That was a story collection. This is like a short story collection by Faulkner. It's called These 13. Will you remember? These 13, 1-3, which was published in the year 1931, is a very famous short story collection by Faulkner. Okay. He dedicated it to his daughter, Alabama, his first daughter, who actually died just 9 days after birth. And also he dedicated These 13 to his wife, Estelle. Okay, easy, nice. And now, tantara, MCQs based on William Faulkner. I've given you so much about him. You know his face, you know his works, his style, his intention of writing, and now MCQs based on his works. Let's start. It's going to be fast. The Compson family features in which novel by William Faulkner? Tell me. The Compson family features in The Sound and the Fury, published in the year 1929. The Sound and the Fury novel chronicles the decline of this aristocratic family, which was once an aristocratic family but now declining. The name of this family is the Compson family. They live in Yoknapatawpha County, Mississippi. Okay? Question related to Sound and Fury. In the Sound and Fury, which Compson brother narrates the first section who is mentally disabled? So this brother is mentally disabled who narrates the first section of the Sound and Fury. His name is Benji. Option C, Benji. Come to question number 3. Joe Christmas in William Faulkner's novel Light in August struggles primarily with which of the following themes? The question says that William Faulkner wrote a novel called Light in August. There is this protagonist in this novel called Joe Christmas. He struggles with what? The answer is racial identity. Why? Because Joe Christmas is uncertain of his racial heritage. Joe Christmas is suspected to be of African American descent. He appears white. Joe Christmas appears white, but he's suspected to have an African lineage. So he's consumed with rage and confusion. He never knows where he belongs in this rigid, segregated American South. That is the story of William Faulkner's novel, Light in August. Come to question number 4. I discussed this already. Faulkner received Nobel Prize of Literature in which year? See, 1950 is not given in the option only. Answer is 1949. Basically, designated for 1949, the Nobel Prize was officially announced and presented to him in 1950. But if the options are 1949, please tick mark that. Okay? Question number 5. Which Faulkner novel features the Bundren family? Bundren family. The answer has to be As I Lay Dying. Published in the year 1930, As I Lay Dying talks of, it's the story of this Bundren family's chaotic journey to bury their matriarch, whose name is Addie Bundren, in her hometown of Jefferson, Mississippi. The story As I Lay Dying is actually told through 59 monologues or 59 chapters that are spoken by 15 different characters. So if a question comes that 15 different characters speak in which novel, they narrate in which novel, the answer is As I Lay Dying. It talks of Bundren family as they are on their journey to bury their matriarch Addie Bundren in her hometown of Jefferson, Mississippi. There are 59 monologues in As I Lay Dying. Easy? Yes. 6th question. William Faulkner's novel Absalom mainly explores the history of which family? So which family is presented in Absalom? Bundren, no. We just spoke of the Bundren family here in As I Lay Dying. Snopes family, no. That's the Snopes trilogy. So kya bacha? Sutpen family, right? Sutpen family is the focal point of 1936 Southern Gothic novel Absalom. This novel, Absalom, it depicts the dramatic rise and fall of Thomas Sutpen, a man who builds a plantation in Mississippi. So it's the rise and fall of Sutpen. Okay, come to question number 7. Which novel is a sequel to William Faulkner's novel Sanctuary? So William Faulkner's novel Sanctuary has a direct sequel in the name of Requiem for a Nun. Requiem for a Nun. It was published in the year 1951. Whereas Sanctuary, which was a controversial novel by Faulkner, was published in the year 1931. So 31 is Sanctuary, 51 is Requiem for a Nun. And this sequel continues the story of Temple Drake from the original book. So if the question comes, Temple Drake is a character in Sanctuary and Requiem for a Nun. Will you remember? You will. You have no choice. Come, this is the last question of the day. The title of As I Lay Dying comes from, say, it is Homer's Odyssey. The title of William Faulkner's 1930 novel As I Lay Dying is derived from William Morris's 1925 translation of Homer's Odyssey. So connected like this, Homer's Odyssey, William Morris's 1925 translation of Homer's Odyssey, As I Lay Dying by William Faulkner. That is how the inspiration is drawn. Easy, and we are done. Loved it. Loved it. I feel so enriched, and I know so do you. This is Hina from Team Wallet. Take very good care of yourself. Bye bye.